Wow. So if this is true, Carlos King is crazy. Really? Martell made Melody. All right. So I get it. They're a couple, they're a unit when they were husband and wife. The two shall become one flesh. I get that, but I feel like it's a little stretch to say that Martell, there would be no Melody without Martell. Okay, but I get it to an extent. They are a package deal, but how come it can never be the reverse? How come it can never be the other way around? How is it that it's always the man that's putting a woman on? But at the same time, I feel like that's really not the case because how come people was ready to boycott Martell? Martell was one of the most hated people on that show besides Miss Wanda and Mark, and people didn't want to see them on the screen either. And people were perfectly okay with Melody having her own show or just highlighting Melody and the kids. So I'm a little confused how Martell can make Melody. I'm a little confused how like she's thriving more without him than with him. Based off appearances, I don't know behind the scenes, but just off of optics, Melody is good. Now I can say that. It maybe Melody fell off once she divorced Martell, but I don't know. This girl done glowed up. She's singing all around the world and and she has her own products, her brand. Like she got it going on. So I'm like, whoa, hold up, wait a minute. Let me put some pimping in it. Carlos, you're doing a little bit too much with that whole statement. But then I remember people would be saying things like that they felt like, Carlos is a little biased and he's like very much team Martell, but I get it. I noticed that sometimes men will stick with each other, and that's how come we got Melody's back. All the ladies, you feel me? Help me sing it out. So we got her. But I just wanted to talk about this because I seen this when I was coming across this article that was just written. I'm like, oh, well, excuse me, Mr. King. I didn't know who died and made you the say so of who made who. If that's the case, make another one. If you can make one hoe, make another hoe. Ain't that what Jay-Z said? Make another male if that's the case. So that means that now that Martell is with Sheree, she about to be bossed up, right? We shall see. So this article says that Carlos King was talking on his YouTube channel and said, Martell to me was okay with being somebody that looked at this powerhouse, Melody, and said, I'm going to pour all of my broad into making you a star. I don't know what that means, but all of my broad into making you a star. But this is what the article says. And if I'm a star because of it, then great. King told Dustin Ross during the recap of part 3 of the season 4 reunion special. Think about it. He drove her to audition for American Idol. Oh, I did not know that. So Melody was auditioning for American Idol. That's cool. It says, we met because he drove from Huntsville to Atlanta to meet with me about the show. And in that meeting, True T Martell didn't say 2 words to me. Melody did all the talking. And I said, Melody, low-key, I'm sold after 20 seconds. But we met for 2 hours. And the entire time, Martell looked at Mel like this, smiling. He loved that about her. Oh, that's sweet. It says, King says the connection between Martell and Melody was clear from the start and he was sold on having the Halts as the central force of a reality show. But weeks before shooting the pilot episode, he learned that not only had Martell been unfaithful, but was continuing with his affair. I had no idea when I first met them that they had any marital problems. 0, King told Ross in a conversation per The Insider. When I say to you Martell was so enamored with Melody, I was like, oh my gosh, he got this man whipped right here. And isn't that funny how looks can be deceiving? And I feel like a part of it was, how do we know that? Like, in Martell's mind, he was smiling like, oh my gosh, baby, you haven't left me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm starting to think sometimes that's what it is. Like, sometimes men can be like, oh my gosh, you're really taking my stupidity, like in their mind. And that's what's making them smile. Like, wow, she really is. I just don't know anymore. Because he cannot be whipped if he's messing with another woman. If his actions is the reason why she's crying at night. You know what I mean? If she's pouring her heart out to him saying, please stop or whatever, you know what I mean? If it's damaging her self-esteem in the moment, in the time, like that's not love to me. It's not about how much you can endure and take from a person. I feel like the number one relationship will always be the relationship you have with yourself. And at times we do dishonor ourselves. At times we do take less than what's best for us. But the real flex is getting back up and realizing and waking up like, wait a minute, I deserve more. This is not me. I deserve better than this. And I'm so happy that is what Melody did. So the article continues. It says that King says he was hopeful that they could make it through the cheating scandal. And a lot of people do feel that way. Infidelity, along with other things, I feel like marriages can work through. But to each his own. Everybody is different. But it says that Carlos said, at one point in time, he truly tried to make things right, King insists. I think what everyone is witnessing is what happens when a man continuously makes a mistake and his wife is just fed up. See, when a woman's fed up, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. That's real. I feel like every woman has her breaking point. And I'm pretty sure that Melody was like, she wasn't okay with the infidelity, but I feel like she probably wanted Martell to stop. But when she realized that she wasn't trying to be no sister wife. And I'm okay with that. She did not sign up for that. I understand that. Carlos said, I hope a lot of husbands and boyfriends watch what he has experienced and they check themselves and say, maybe I need to do right by my wife in my situation so that I won't end up like this. Absolutely. So this article continues and says, the Halts are now struggling to co-parent. After nearly a 7-year affair, Melody had enough and filed for divorce. Their divorce was finalized in 2020, with them sharing joint legal and physical custody of their 2 children. Oh, this article is off. Do you know they got 4 kids? Oh my gosh. Y'all see what this article say? It say 2. Maybe it was a typo, but 2 and 4, I don't know. Anyway, it says Ross and King agreed that Melody never wanted to divorce Martell, but instead felt forced to do so because of his continued cheating. Now they struggle as co-parents. I don't know if that's the case. But I feel like, never wanted to divorce Martell, but instead felt forced to do so. Like, isn't that why most people get divorced? Not most people, but isn't that kind of the cause of divorces is cheating? So how was she forced? I don't know. I don't know. Something about that. I'm not getting. So the article continues. It said Martell is seeking full custody of their children, citing Melody having too many babysitters due to her busy schedule and not giving him the first right to care for them in her absence. In her absence, she says Martell simply wants to control her. That is absolutely true. I'm gonna insert this clip from Judge Judy of a similar situation. Judge Judy had to get the man together. It's no longer your concern no more. Like, if your ex-wife or the mother of your children decides to do now that y'all not together, you just gotta let it rock. Pray for the best. Keep that communication open with your kids so they can come to you if anything does pop off. But for the most part, Martell needs to trust Melody. Like, come on now. They've been married for years. He knows how much he loves. He knows how much Melody loves their kids and is not going to put them in harm's way. So it is an attempt to control her, or at least that's how I feel.
Listen, you don't have control anymore, sir. If you believe that someone is doing something that is not in your child's best interest and is harmful, abusive, or neglectful, your responsibility is to go to court or call Child Protective Services if you want to play that game.
But let me know what y'all think about Carlos saying that there will be no Melody without no Martell, because Martell was driving her places and gave her the push and confidence. That sounds like that's being a good supportive husband, but the star quality was already there. The drive and devotion was already there. But then again, I guess I can see where he's coming from, because I think about how my mom supports me and things like that and gave me the push. And sometimes I credit my success to my mom as well. When I got my degree, I felt like it was my mom's degree too, because everything that she pushed me to do, encouraged me to do, the words of affirmation, just, helping me mentally. So I felt like it was her degree as well. So I guess I kind of get what he's saying. But at the end of the day, I feel like it was Melody's blood, sweat, and tears and personality and, who she was as a person that we fell in love with. So we'll see. But let me know what y'all think. Do y'all see where Carlos is coming from when he says that Martell, there would be no Melody without Martell? Or is he tripping and he reaching a little bit? Other than that, let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.
Met Synquette, man, that girl was heaven sent. Met Synquette, man, that girl was heaven sent.